At the second last checkpoint here now. There, you seen yourself on video. Well, good morning, Rye Guy here. It is June the 8th? June the 8th, yeah. This is the actual rally here for the Mid-Valley ATV Club, and this is the annual jamboree and poker rally that they do every year, so I'm in attendance for this one. It's actually a multi-day event. Just headed towards registration here now. But, yeah. Wasn't able to spend any time camping out for this event this year. Normally I do try to do that, but I just too busy. It's that time of year, just too busy doing house projects and farm projects and trying to keep up with work. So no more excuses. You all know it. You all work. I'm sure you are busy this time of year too. Anyway, I haven't been out for a while, so I appreciate you joining me on this run. This run, I actually have my father running the Rhino 700 behind me, and a friend of ours, we'll just call him King Quad, or King, I guess. Anyway, he just bought a brand new King Quad 500, and we're here on the trail breaking it in. He's somewhat new to riding. He's been on the bikes before, but never really involved too much in it. But yeah, no, this is good day for it. It started off a little bit chilly. I guess it was only about, well, I say chilly. It was like 11 or something degrees, but by the time it was midday or so, it was hot. It wasn't really overbearingly hot, but it was hot enough that I had to shed some layers. Yeah, you can tell by the trail conditions that we actually did have quite a bit of rain the last, well, all of last week. It just seems like it just didn't stop raining, and it's been crazy. But this is the first of 2 or 3 days that we've had that, you know, you actually had some sun and some heat to the sun too. So my crops that are growing seem to be starting to poke out of the ground here now, so I'm happy about that. There'll be some sections of this video too, you'll see, like, you see the water on the trail there. Well, further up, I was actually surprised of how much dust ended up being on the trail. And we weren't super early, but we weren't super late either. So, you know, you get a trail and you get a couple, you know, 10, 20, 30 bikes on it, and it does start to dry it out a little bit, but those main roads, those main fire roads, man, were they just dusty. Not quite summer dust, though. Any of you guys who've ridden fire roads in the dead middle of summer know that it's just like gunpowder, just like baby powder. And it's hard on you, hard on the bike, especially if you get into a situation where you have somewhat of a wet radiator, and then you get out into those dusty trails. It just plugs them up, just like mud, just like Play-Doh. As you can tell, this run so far, I mean, we've been doing a little bit of a slower pace. Look at that bike right there, that little sport bike. That is a Bombardier DS650. When those things first came out, and I can't remember when, it's almost like hen's teeth, as rare as hen's teeth, to find one of those in decent shape. I think Can-Am did some Baja racing in the Baja 500 or 1000 or something like that. I wish I had the camera on a little bit earlier, That dog was running by, just hopped on the back of that four-wheeler as that guy was just driving away. I thought it was somebody else's dog, but anyway, it was great because the dog, I guess the dog did the whole rally, somebody said at the end of it, and he just loved it. This is actually here, this is the this is the midway point where the lunch trailer was, and it looked like the Legion, I'm not quite sure what Legion actually was cooking the meals there, but they did a much better setup this year for the lunch as far as the lineup goes. Usually it's very, very lined up. Last year they had like a food wagon or a chip truck or something like that on the trail, which was really cool, but the guys just weren't able to keep up with the demand for food. But this year they said they did quite a lot better. Stopped right by this lake here too. Twin Lake, this was called. Now, if I were to say something negative about this run, and I know the guys from Mid-Valley do watch my videos, and I do appreciate that.
We were supposed to get our cards checked here, too. We'll get beyond the crowd.
Yeah, that was my fault. Forgot that. We ate lunch, stopped, it was great, and completely forgot to check our cards. So by the time we actually had to go back and check our cards, you can see the massive line up there. So we had to park the bikes. But here's where the issue I had with the trail. There was no indication that there was any two-way traffic, and I thought we were going to continue down the number, I think this was the 101, I can't remember, the snowmobile trail. I didn't have my map with me, but anyway, you can see the lineup of bikes and side-by-sides, mainly side-by-sides. Holy crap, there's a lot on this run. But anyway, yeah. You're into two-way traffic here. It was a short run, which was great, and we actually didn't meet any other four-wheelers or side-by-sides coming around the corner. But it was still, there should have been some signage and just some indication there of, hey, there's going to be some two-way traffic just for a short distance. For me, there was a lot of road running on this run. I don't mind a lot of fire roads, but you know what? There was actually some good mix of trails, specifically towards the end. I can see why they chose this route. They came down the 99 off of the main trail onto Trail 96, went through Snowman's Corner, and if anybody's familiar with the Valley Trails, you know kind of what those landmarks are. Stopped by the Crossburn snowmobile warming hut, which was still there. I guess I was talking to Rooster, and they pulled that snowmobile hut, that warming hut, right out of there for the summertime. Which is, yeah, that's a good idea. It's a good idea. It's a really nice built hut. I've never actually been inside of it, but I can kind of peer through the window, just take a look. Snowmobiles always seem to do that very, very well in terms of setting themselves up for trail running in the wintertime. There's designated areas for snowmobile warming huts, and the trails are maintained a little bit better. Honestly, I still think this province is about 15 years behind the rest of the world, the rest of Canada here, especially when it comes to ATVing and looking at having the government look at what ATVs actually do for this province. Anyway, I just went off into a tangent there. If you see me glaring at the front of the speedometer or at my GPS, I'm actually looking to see if my GoPro is still recording. I have a Hero 3 Black, and I do have the remote to actually tell if it's still recording, and just turn it on and off if I want to. But the issue that I find with that is it just sucks my battery life out too quick. So I tend to opt out using that setup. Same thing with the one button touch mode. To just press the power button and it'll automatically turn on, press it again and it'll save the video and then turn itself off. I do like that feature, but for some reason, I don't know if it was a software thing or what's going on, but it's every once in a while it'll screw up to the point where it'll actually do a hard reset on the camera. Maybe it's just mine, I don't know, but I did heard of other people having the same issue. I always like all the bridges and lakes and rivers through this trail system here. I still think the Annapolis Valley has some of the most beautiful trails I've seen so far in this province, at least, which I really enjoy getting out and running. Yeah, we came across a group of, well, 2 or 3 groups, I guess, of riders, side-by-sides, and ATVs, things like that. Just a couple dirt bikes, actually, too. Just enjoying the day. They weren't belonging to any of the rallies. It was kind of weird because another ATV club, I can't remember the club who was putting it on, but they had a rally on the same time this was on. So I'm sure it kind of diverted some people's attendance from one rally to the next. Didn't pay attention to my GPS to see what lake that was there on the right hand side. The water was just so deep blue. Really, really nice day. There was next to no cold wind. There was a little bit of a breeze, which was nice because it kind of kept the flies away. But if you got in a certain spot, you see that little, heard that little click. Well, that was a culvert that I hit, and it just came around that corner very quickly. And I just wanted King behind me there to slow himself down because I wasn't sure if he was gonna take that corner a little bit too fast like I did and just, well, kind of skip over that thing. That culvert there was poking out of the ground. Yeah, the flies. If you stopped for more than, about 30 seconds in a spot like this, or the ground was saturated with water, you just die of the flies. It just carry you away. But if you stop by a lake where you're getting a little bit of a breeze, it wasn't so bad. Like where we ate lunch, that Twin Lake, that was actually nice because there was a little bit of a breeze coming off that lake, and it kind of pushed the flies away from you for a little bit. Let him get ahead of me so I can get some footage of him. From the beginning of the run to this point and beyond, you can tell when somebody gets more familiar with the operation of their four-wheeler or their ATV or whatever they're running. Just the confidence level goes up a little bit. Speed picks up some. The body English kind of, you could tell. giving me the old, yeah, you cast a fly in that water and you'll bound to catch something. He knows that there's trout in that river. It's quite the fisherman. There is a run that comes up in September called the Cape Breton Highland Quest. And I've been kind of looking into this one myself. I've never spun the four-wheeler tires in Cape Breton. I've been there several times, both for work, not really for pleasure, it's more for work than anything else. But yeah, Cape Breton, if you're not familiar with our province, is extremely scenic, and I know that there's parts of that Highland Quest tour that it goes from Wreck Cove over to Kodiak and then back on a different route, and you stay overnight in Kodiak if you can even find a hotel. Somebody told me that it was booked up like 2 years in advance for hotel rooms for that trip. The only issue is I would go and camp out on the trail, but it is in September, late September, in Cape Breton. That's hunting season, and in Cape Breton it gets cold really early and really late. There is all the snow that we didn't get this winter, Cape Breton got fourfold. So I don't know. It wouldn't be very comfortable without a Arctic tent or something like that to take with you on the trail if you wanted to definitely spend the night on the trail. It'd be pretty chilly, I'd say. I'll still look into accommodations, but I'm pretty sure that, the source who told me that it's booked up 2 years in advance, I trust him pretty well. He's done the trip multiple times. Those stock Suzuki King Quad mufflers sound pretty throaty. I always like the sound of those bikes. The 500s and the 700 or 750s. That's a big paint can of a cylinder moving up and down in there. And they got a nice throaty sound of that stainless steel exhaust. I'm glad he went with power steering too. My bike does not have power steering. Well, it does, it's just in my upper body. This was interesting. The left-hand side, I seen a cop sitting by a piece of equipment, heavy equipment.
How's it going? Good, you? Good.
And I thought he was just guarding the gear. Nope.
You got your insurance on you? Yep. No, you're good. You're good to go. Okay, have a great day. Thank you, sir.
Anyway, you know what though? they knew where to set up. This is just coming into the campground from the rally. They knew where to set up. It was good. It was actually a good strategic spot. But in all, I think the province honestly needs more of that, because you need to weed out the bad eggs. Well, guys, this is the run. This was the Mid-Valley ATV Jamboree and Poker Rally 2019. I thank you very, very much for joining me. I did have a lot of fun on this run, and it was nice to get some new fresh blood out in the trail. With the king behind me there, he's just pulling in behind me with the new 500 that he bought. So anyway, thank you very much, guys. Please like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you guys out in the next run. Bra guy out.